Paul Theron is still with me. Paul, okay, you mentioned that you were in New York, and you can tell us about your time with regards to running the New York City Marathon. But apart from that, how was the mood?
Well, interesting, because I was spending time with all these right-wing Wall Street type of people, right? So for starters, they all totally despise Barack Obama. They are holding thumbs that he's going to get thrown out of office at the end of this period.
Why were you sitting with people like this?
Well, that's because, you know, those are the people with all the money, you know, and those are the ones I wanted to talk to. So I was like, well, if you think he's a socialist, I think you should send him to South Africa because, you know, we could use a socialist like that. Anyway, I mean, for me, it's interesting because the whole mood there is still quite negative. So despite the fact that there's been this recovery of the US economy and that Q3 growth didn't look too bad, in their minds, there's this high unemployment, the stock market's not really winning, so therefore they're negative.
How did you feel as an optimist about their economy going there and everyone was negative? Did it make you, I mean, I can feel you slightly subdued, Paul. Have you changed?
So I had to do quite a lot of pushing and shoving, you know, pointing out to people that they ought to cheer up. But what's interesting about it is, you know, Warwick, there I go again. Warren Buffett, I must have jet lag or something. Warren Buffett, he was on CNBC for hours earlier today. It's like everybody talks and listens to him and he says buy stocks, hold them for the long run, ignore the crisis, but nobody ever does it. While you're there, it's like the crisis, you know, this European thing and all that, it's all anyone can talk about. All as though, you know, they really ought to be just calming down and buying stocks. Anyway, I did dispense a bit of justice. And
have you got new filters now that you're back in South Africa, Paul?
Well, I must say the sunlight is definitely brighter down here.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us. Great to have you on the program.